a resident in Mr. John Griffith is in the program with us, and I know he's not able to put on his camera. But let me just welcome Mr. Griffith. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This welcome to the Marcia Week Show. I met you right there in Wellington Street, and it
Yeah.
was I know it was a heated discussion we were having there, and you were very passionate. And I want to tell the people, I told them before about you and the other young men in the area that you were really the first responders to the fire there at Wellington Street, and you worked as heroes, really, as you are, in helping the firemen and in trying to get that fire under control. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show once again, and thank you for your service to the people there in Wellington Street, who are now displaced. Can you tell us, sir, what was your experience like? Where were you when the fire started?
To be honest, I was actually in my bed, and my son told me that there's a fire outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I rush up quick, put on the pants and a shirt, look outside the side door. From the time I look up in the air, I saw a lot of like flames, flying all over.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, this just up the gap. So I just walk up the gap and quick. So this house was actually, it was burning, but not like the way, it wasn't that much a fire as yet. It was
Mm-hmm.
burning, and I hear everybody, I see people start running with chairs and stuff trying to get things out the house. And everybody was helping, and even a guy once ran with a hose, but he said that the hose, they had no pipe cock to put the hose on, so they could have helped. Then my next door neighbor, she came out and she started to cry because she was so passionate. She called the fire station again. Someone did call before, but she called again. Then when she get through, she was telling them that houses down here burning and they're taking long.
Mm-hmm.
Then after the fire truck come, first one came, stopped right on the corner where the house was actually burning. And usually when a fire truck come to a fire, from my experience, I knew that they just actually use the water from the truck. Which truck's supposed to have water to use? But up here the truck they had no water,
Mm.
and the guys didn't even prepare. They actually had to get dressed on the spot. So
Okay.
all that was time that we're wasting.
Oh,
Then
so
they
they,
had
they came there not dressed for the to fight the fire.
nope, nope. They actually stand and watch them jump into suits and helmets and all kind of thing before they even do anything. And then the first thing they went for was a fire hydrant. And I was like, why? Why the hydrant? I figured that the hydrant would have come after the water from the truck probably started to go low, and they wanted to either refill or use the hydrant now to hook up a hose and help out the fire. But I thank them for the help, but I think the response and the way that they went about it was quite poor from my experience watching fires.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what you were also saying that when they actually that the you guys the men there had to help them to open the hydrant.
Yeah, then the second truck come. It was parked on the other at the other corner.
Mm-hmm.
We had to actually some guys had to actually help them hook up and try to get it turned on. And I don't know if it was giving trouble or just probably pressure from them in that they couldn't get it hooked up and ready to start out in the fire. But oh, he had a lot of fire before. Where I living right now had a
Mm-hmm.
fire right here. which an old lady actually died on this spot. You understand? And me and my brothers and them were actually trying to save this lady.
Yeah.
Cause I didn't know came home from where I thought our house was burning. That's the truth, because it's smoke coming through our house. So my first mistake was to go straight, get the hose, and start to wet down the house. And that's how I actually saved my grandmother's house from burning at that time. But Miss Quires, we couldn't get to her. We couldn't get to her. The fire truck came, and they used the water from their truck before they
Oh.
even think about using a hydrant. Because my question is, if there was going to out a cane fire, where sometimes the cane grounds don't even got a fire hydrant, what will they use? Not water from the truck.
Interesting. Interesting. So you're saying it was for you, it was quite unusual and
Quite unprofessional.
unprofessional, you thought. So when they
Unprofessional.
came on the spot, you guys were saying that there was only one and a half, one house and
Yeah,
another one.
yeah. Actually, yeah. Because the house right at the corner, if they'd have responded better, they could have saved the house. They could have saved it. Then when they actually start to put the water on the houses, I swear blind that they was spraying diesel. The more water, I see more flames than anything else in my life. This one of the worst experience I ever had. Seeing a fire in my neighborhood. Tell me, it was terrible. And then I can't believe that he get on the radio and say that and say that we lying. You know,
Okay,
why
who
should
is
we
it
lie?
who went on the radio? Who are you referring to?
They were talking to the chief officer
The,
from the
the okay, the
fire
fire
department,
chief.
you know. Yeah, I would like to meet him in person to have a quiet word. You know, I knew some of the guys that work on the fire truck that we was helping, and you understand. But I think the response was poor. You know, for so much houses to get damaged, and then when you could move a fire station that was just actually 2 minutes or 3 minutes away from the neighborhood, you know, to put a park. I know you want to keep the country looking beautiful and what's not, but you got to think about the safety of people when these things happen.
And
You
because
know,
you
so
could feel most of the residents were very upset that that the the fire
the
station was
response,
not
yeah,
just around the corner.
it was right there. I could remember years ago, could be about 5 years ago, if so long. My next door neighbor home was burning through electrical problem, and that there was during the hurricane season. I can remember it good. It was during the hurricane season. The night they had something was passing, and they start to burn next door to me. And I put on a raincoat, get on my bike, and rode to the fire station, and bring the truck. I ain't leave till the truck come out, and bring them right here to deal with the fire. Because at this time you can't put water on it because it was electric. That you understand? So then them had a call Light and Power to cut off all electricity before they could deal with it. You understand?
Yeah. Somebody's
Right?
asking if any water was used from the first truck that came
None.
there. Huh?
Water could only get used if they had water. They didn't have none.
Oh, so you're saying the
So
first truck that came, no water was ever used from that truck?
not a drop up to
Wow,
now.
Oh Lord.
So
that is
so I mean,
crazy.
we got people that live opposite the fire, opposite the fire, houses on the other side that was looking through the window and seeing everything. And 1,000 Frenchmen can't be wrong saying the same thing. We can lay on the fire service. We love the fire service, but they are here to protect. You understand? So why should we lie? You only speak what we saw. You know, but if you if you do a whole day and you don't put water in the truck and prepare yourself for any emergency at any time. I think it was a lack of judgment, or I don't know what it's do over there, but it was very poor. If you know you're going home, you care actually on E. You can put it down on E to get up in the morning to drive it to work. You go fill it with gas before you're going, or you ain't getting to work the next day. Because on E,
Yeah, yeah.
they had they in there the whole day. All they had to do is fill the truck and prepare themselves for any calls.
Mm.
They come back, they respond back. When you respond without water, then you're wasting time. You don't do nothing much then.
Wow, 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 wow. Because I mean, the young men there, they were very angry because they said
Yeah,
they
it's
heard
angry
the report on the radio,
on
and
the
they knew
radio.
that it was
And what
not.
pissed, yeah,
Go ahead,
and
go
what
ahead,
pissed me
John.
off is
Go
that
ahead,
this
John.
guy that was out there, yeah, and what really get me angry, there's a guy that he said that he is a fireman or was a fireman, saying that a fire truck can't leave the station without water. I tell you, don't say can't, because this one did. He should have said it shouldn't, because it did happen. It leave without water. But this is Barbados, and this is just the ghetto. You understand? This is just the ghetto. So anything happens in the ghetto, anything can happen. Nobody don't really care.
Yeah.
As far as them concerned, every street out here for anybody is Nelson Street. When they tell them I live in Spruce Street, oh, you mean Nelson Street? So Nelson Street is a bad thing for everybody in the country. For most people, from Nelson Street, so the- get you gotta take where you get. That's how I see it.
Yes,
You
that's the
understand? And then they
feeling.
can come and
That's
tell
the
that
feeling. Yeah.
yeah. And what upset me that he can say that we lying. That we lying. Why should we lie over this? People lose their homes. Why should we lie? People are homeless today. You feel that when you put people in a hotel for 3 days or 2 days, that could cut it. That can't cut it. Because they still got to look for homes, still got to look for food, still got to look for clothing. Children still got to go to school. They lose everything. And we can get until a lie. A lie
Somebody
can't bring
saying
back a home.
Somebody said, but can you really verify that the trucks did not have water? You can't see, you can't measure. But you're saying that you were there helping the
Yeah,
fire
no
truck.
water. The first truck came, never, ever, ever use water from the truck. Never. And the fire wasn't even that big when they got there. If they had water from the truck, what they first thing you just use? The water from the truck. And then when you start to run out of water, then automatic, then you look for a hydrant. That's simple. And they come them then didn't even dress. Sorry to say. They didn't even dress. Because everybody was watching the fire, waiting on the fire truck. That's what people is do. Is go on a corner, on a safe spot, waiting for the fire truck. When the fire truck comes, it's a big red truck. Nobody can miss it. Nothing. The only thing that came from the truck was men. No water.
Mm, wow, that would explain why at the end of the whole thing, 16 houses. If they got there and it was just a one and a half, so what was the purpose of the fire truck? If they got there and it was a one and a half house that was on fire, and by the time they were done, there were 16 houses. Down there looked like a war zone. It tells you that something is definitely and let me say that the residents there, they're not against, they were happy that the minister took care of the persons, and that of those that were displaced, and they weren't speaking against the government. So let's be very, very clear about that from my understanding. Is there anything else you want to say, John? John, is there anything else you want to say? Not hearing him.
Marcia.
Yes.
Oh, let
I'm
him go
here.
on.
Yes.
Let
Go
him go
ahead,
on.
John. Go ahead, John.
I
Can
couldn't
you
hear
hear
you.
us? Is there anything else you want to say? Okay, he's having some difficulties there. Go ahead, Caswell.
Wait,
Let him
I can hear
continue.
you. I can hear you now.
Okay, yes, go ahead. Is there
Yeah. So
anything else you want
what I
to
was
say?
saying is that what I was saying is that for 16 houses to get burned and 6 actually, I mean, done. You know, something had to be wrong. Fire in the neighborhood, we always help. Always help. Emergencies, we always help. Even when it comes to go cleaning drains, we just help. Hurricane season, we just help. We just try to help one another in the neighborhood.
Hmm. Wow, this is really very sad.
So it's not good. It's not good at all. And
It's very
I don't
sad.
like the idea that he get and say that we couldn't speak for what we saw. Yeah, it's very sad. You know, and
Yeah, it's
then
very
but
sad.
you know at the end of the day, some people is gonna cover the behind. It's gonna cover the behind. So
Mhm.
that's just how life goes sometimes. But I will hope from now on going forward that they will do better the next time. It happen anywhere. Be prepared. They always tell you be prepared for hurricane season, right?
Yes.
Firemen should always be prepared. 'Cause a fire can happen at any time. A fire can happen at any time. So they should always be prepared. Because my question is, if they were going to out a bush fire or a
Hmm.
cane fire, where most of the campgrounds is be way down the back through a car road. Which part you don't even have a pipe, far as a hydrant. What will they use? Not water from the truck. The truck don't have water.
Mm. Yes.
Hot
Thank you.
water.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr.
That's my
Griffith. Yeah.
question. To save the asses.
Yes,
But people
yes,
don't like the truth. That's the problem in this country.
yeah,
A lot of people can't deal with the truth. Then people
yes. Mm. Oh my God, something really went wrong, Mister. Something really went wrong,
the
and
problem we got
I'm
in Barbados is when poor people speaking the truth, it be a problem.
yeah. Thank you so much, John. Thank you very, very much. I know Mr. Franklin wants to say something, and we are trying to do something for the residents as well as I know Mr. Franklin is going to be calling for an inquiry into this operation, and that's something that we should do, Mr. Franklin, officially. But let me let you speak, Mr. Franklin.
Marcia, I just saw a comment from I think but it was Ann Graves. She said her hubby is a fireman, and he says that trucks don't leave the station without water. That might be true in most cases. The reason being, when you're experienced, that's what you do. But when you put rookies, right? When you put rookies who are not experienced, who don't know the system yet, and put them to man the station without a senior officer, without the NCO, because you want to bring these fellas up through and be able to say on their CV that they were responsible for the station and they're responsible for this thing, you try to make them, and this is what you do, you try to push these young men because you identify them and you want to have a different profile of the fire service So you decide that you're going to take experience, try to get rid of the experienced people and put them and they make mistakes. Because something like this is routine. When you go to a fire and you lose the water, before you get back to the station, you hook up the hydrant and fill up the truck. That's what they used to do before. I might certain knowledge. Now, however, you got young people who know what's going on, and most likely they're down the harbor, and the harbor got them water for the cruise ships, so they can't go and use the harbor water. That could be a problem. So and they didn't fill back up before they get in, so the truck would have been empty. Because prayer tell me, and John was correct. When you get to fire, the first water used, the fellas jump off the truck, hook a hose up, and start spraying. That didn't happen. And he said he was watching, I wasn't there, that no water was used from that truck. Meaning either the truck wasn't working properly, the mechanism for pumping it out wasn't there, or there was no water. Yeah. And I tend to believe that there was no water.
And everybody in the community that were even you know, the young guys, they're very upset because they saw it. They were on right there and they saw it, and that's their account, and you can't take that from them because they, as he said, they're poor people. You know, they're speaking the truth, and so you want to silence them. But if this was in the Heights and the Terrace, what would we be doing now if those persons who live there, if this man was of a different hue, if this was a white community and they were telling us that because I'm not afraid to say it, and they were telling us that this thing happened, would it be that we would say that, oh, they don't know what they're talking about? That's the big question. Or they're, you know, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
Abraham just asked if the truck had water, why wasn't it used? That's a very good question, because the fire service managers, they are in cover your tail mode. So they come out and without investigating the situation, because they weren't there, they're at home. And you put junior people hoping that nothing happens. But something happened. And 45 people are homeless as a result of incompetence, negligence, and mismanagement. This government now needs to have an inquiry into this fire, because, yeah, one house burned, no problem, no inquiry. 2, no inquiry. But 16, there must be an inquiry. You can't get away from it.
How do we get that started officially, Mr. Franklin? What's the procedure? Do you know?
Well, the procedure is that the minister should initiate the process, get the permanent secretary, that things in place. And
this is Corey, Minister Corey?
Not Corey. Corey, he is in the capacity of parliamentary representative there.
I see.
The minister is nuisance. I mean Abrams. He is the person.
His name keeps coming up. That man's name keeps coming up.
Yeah, because he does nothing right. And you know, like when you are a disaster, disasters keep following you.
Yeah.
Well, that is what's happened to him. So he needs now to initiate the process. Get the permanent secretary to prepare the documents to take the cabinet, for the cabinet to agree to have an inquiry, but not a departmental inquiry. We want one that is open to the public, so that John and the people over there can come and give evidence. Because somebody else in the chat said he was there, he saw the video, and he could have seen firemen putting on their gear at the scene. You should have put on that gear. Then you hear the alarm, you snatch your thing and run, because you don't know where you get into. Fire, put them on and move. You should be there trying to put on the pants in the street, and should be on. The only thing you should put on when you get is your hat.
This is very serious, and You know, we need not dismiss so many eyewitnesses, so many, and we as a show, Mr. Franklin, must continue to push for this so that their stories are told and they're not told that they're liars.
You know, the thing is,
Basically,
it is don't believe your eyes, believe what they tell you.
yes,
That's the attitude that this government has, you know. No. Don't believe what you are seeing. Believe the story we give you. This
yes,
happens throughout the public service. People always trying to cover the tail. Sometimes you need to tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. Because if you tell the truth, people can fix things to make sure it don't happen again. But you lie, and it will happen again and again and again and again.